Hi, I'm Angie Austin. Welcome to the Entercom 2016 Oil and Gas Conference. I'm with Oil and Gas 360, and we are joined by Avery Schenfeld, PhD, with CIBC. He is the Managing Director and the Chief Economist. Hello, Avery.
Hi.
All right, so let's get started. What are some of the important economic drivers affecting oil and gas prices right now?
So, obviously, we had a big surge in U.S. supply earlier. That was part of the story of how we got the fall in prices. But we've also, in a macroeconomic sense, had a period of weak economic growth globally, really since the Great Recession. And that's no accident then that we not only have had soft oil and gas prices, but we've also had soft commodity prices really across the board.
All right, let's talk about the down cycle. How has the down cycle affected the Canadian oil and gas industry in particular, and how are the Canadian operators navigating through it, both the oils, sands, and shale drillers?
Well, the good news for existing oil sands producers is they're a high fixed cost business, but relatively low marginal cost. They spend all the money up front, then they have relatively low operating costs. Where the big damage has been done is that we've been putting off additional projects in the oil sands. So there were big plans to ramp that up over the next half decade. Some of those projects are high upfront costs. They've been pushed back further, some perhaps in some cases into the next decade.
All right, let's touch on the Dow. You've won the Dow Jones Market Watch Forecasting Award several times. So what is your view on the future of the U.S. and Canadian economies?
So I think the U.S., I call it 2 is the new 4. We used to think of 4% as a good year for economic growth, maybe 3.5%. These days, 2% is actually a pretty good year because we just don't have either the growth in the workforce that we had earlier, or it seems the growth in output per worker that we used to get. So this year we're actually falling short of that 2% mark, but by 2017 we do expect to see roughly 2% growth, and at that pace we'll actually make some progress against the unemployment rate. In Canada, the economy's been even slower this year. The energy sector is a bigger share of the Canadian economy. We do expect a bit of a pickup next year, but Canada is going to have to seek some replacements for at least some of the economic growth that the oil sector used to carry, and it's going to take a little longer for that to unfold.
Okay, 2 is the new 4. All right, where is global demand growth for oil and natural gas going to come from in the next decade?
It really is still all about emerging markets. So the mature, developed economies, we're not getting much oil consumption growth. But remember that even though China, India have come a long way from where they were a decade or two ago, their energy use per capita is still far below that of the typical OECD country. So even if China grows at 5 or 5.5% on average over the next decade, that's going to bring with it some consumption growth. And one reason why, again, oil prices have been weak in the last year or two is that emerging markets were unusually slow. And we're hoping that some of the stimulus that has been brought into some of those countries in the form of interest rate cuts and so on, we'll see a little bit better emerging market growth in the next couple of years.
Okay, so last question for oil and natural gas. Does supply drive price or price drive supply? And where do the shale producers in North America fit into that question?
Well, I think supply at least sets a ceiling on price. So when we get up to $55 to $60 a barrel for WTI, for example, and we start to get a recovery in U.S. production, that could mean several years of global demand growth, and we don't necessarily press on beyond $60 a barrel in the next few years. In the case of natural gas, we've seen that at $2 nat gas prices, there hasn't been any supply growth in the US, so we probably will need something closer to $2.75 to $3 to get the natural gas growth we'll need in a growing economy. So it really is about what price do we need to incent the growth and supply that a growing global economy actually needs.
Well, thank you, Avery.
You're welcome.
I am Angie Austin with Oil and Gas 360. Again, that was Avery Schenfeld, PhD with CIBC, Managing Director and Chief Economist. Thanks for joining us.